Did you know that now being a child pred, let's call them from now and here onward, is acceptable with this one loophole? And they even have a name for this group of people. They're called the lollies. Lollies. Doesn't that sound a lot like Lolita, the book about the older guy who really liked young girls? And also what Epstein named his private jet the Lolita Express about? Get to the end of this video, yeah, and tell me I'm crazy. I want you to, because how the hell? Now, I'm going to explain to you guys how this is all working, because I didn't know about this subset of the world. And this is why I say I think the world is such a disgusting place. It's just a disgusting people have found the best way to hide in their little caves, in their little corners, in their little crevices, yeah? Because we're so good at sweeping everything under the carpet, they just sneak under there while we're sneaking the things we don't want to talk about. Yeah, because I've been noticing a lot of stuff, okay? So let's talk about it. Let's talk about this group of people and how they found this so-called loophole. Well, basically, they have found the loophole that there's a bunch of people who either create or engage with content, sexual content about underage, minors. But as long as it's in cartoon form, yep, guys, that's the caveat. And as soon as I heard that, it made so much sense. And we're going to get more into that because there's people who actually defend it and think you're crazy for equating them with the people who are just looking at a human child in the same way. We're going to get to that, but I'll tell you what immediately twigged in my head. So you know how I was doing this speed run of Crunchyroll a couple months ago? That was like probably last month, okay? Where I was watching all these anime back to back. And it was because I usually, when I want to disconnect from the world and the things annoying me, I like watching anime. Well, normally I watch One Piece. And the thing about One Piece, which was a distinct difference from the other anime I was watching, was in One Piece, my favorite characters, neither of them have any love interest. My favorite male favorite characters, they're not really. It's not like very women obsessed with girls heavy focused. Yes, of course, every island they go to, the girls are always naked and always have bodies that I've never seen in any corner crevice of East Asia. Okay. I've never seen it, but anyway, they all seem to have these gargantuan knocker melon boobs in front of them, yeah, and all this stuff. And I'm like, I ain't never seen that before. But hey, and then they're always wearing barely anything. As there was this top I used to wear, right? It was a little halter neck, like crop top. And my mum used to call it a cornflake. The whole dressed in cornflake in these shows, and low-key that top was like a cornflake, like just one cornflake. Oh my gosh. Anyway, and they're all dressed like in nothingness, right? Nothingness, always the girls. However, what I will say, there's one character who is considered pervy, and that's fine because that's acceptable thing to be, by the way, in anime and manga and stuff. So a lot of stuff is all adding up, by the way. But anyway, and so Luffy, the main character, doesn't care. He's just trying to get straight to the freedom. And that's why Luffy is my favorite. Shout out to Luffy. Mugiwara no Luffy, right? Monkey D. Because, yeah, I feel you there, brother. Some of us ain't got any other time other than getting to freedom because nothing else is worth it if I don't have freedom first. However, and then also, of course, Zoro, who's just like, listen, I'm here to protect the crew. I want to become the world's greatest swordsman. He has 3 swords, one in his mouth, 2 in his hands. He's either fighting, sleeping, training, drinking beer, or getting lost. And we love you for that, Zoro. We love you. And then, yeah. So most of the characters, anyway, it's very tame there in One Piece. What I didn't realize is that when I was going to go and do the deep dive of all these other anime, how I was going to feel so violated in my eyes. Like, because I was like, first of all, most of these anime are based in schools. school-aged kids, yeah, and they're all wearing mini skirts. Because this reminds me when I was at school, because I was thinking, when we were at school, yeah, there was one of these teachers, yeah, at school. For the life of me, I can't remember his name. And he was a maths teacher, and we all knew he was a perv, all of us girls, because we all used to, like, in his class, we all used to, like, try really hard to sit with our legs closed, because we knew that he used to have this camera he used to put up under the table. And did any of us ever tell adults? No, we didn't, because, well, we know that was wrong at the time? No, we didn't. We just thought he was weird, right? We just thought he was weird. But yes, he used to record it, and we used to see the video, the footage on his computer. Yeah, this is when I was at school. This is what I'm saying. Is living in this world, it's like, no matter where you go as a woman, like, I feel like, especially of a certain age, all you are is sexualized, whether it's being taken advantage of, whether it's, being desired, whatever, or whether it's, oh, your childbearing years, whatever. All you are is sexualized, and I hate it. This is why the world makes me feel people's eyes on me. I think this is actually maybe the heart of why I hate attention, because it makes me feel dirty. And it's like, the shower doesn't fix how dirty the world makes me feel by the attention that I get in this life and I have gotten. But nevertheless, so we used to see that. So when I'm thinking back to these things, and I'm thinking back to our skirts and the things they used to say, like in our school uniform, because again, our skirts, they were supposed to be at our knee, but it was really hard to walk because they were really narrow. And they also had a slit in the back here. And so we would roll them a little bit. I only rolled mine like about 1 inch above my knee, because whatever. And some girls did really roll them up. But then it was just like, you guys are not really giving us a lot to work with, because the slit also comes up quite far up behind here. And whose idea even was it to give us these kinds of skirts? There's so many kinds of skirts in the world, and like there was so many different. But anyway, and this is at a Catholic school, mind you. It's all very creepy. And then we would always all get in trouble, like, your skirt's too short, your skirt's too this. So it's like the same exact thing I'm getting at church. Like, everything is about, oh, girls, you're wearing those white frilly socks, because we used to wear these little white ankle frilly socks, and they were like, we thought they were cute, innit? Because we used to wear these little black shoes, and we would wear like these socks. They were like white, and they would go up your ankle, and they had like a kind of like plaited design on them, and then they would have like a frilly white lace on the outside. And then we got banned from wearing them, because apparently it's distracting to the boys. It's like, well, you know what, we're not distracting. Maybe you shouldn't even have to wear the uniform. Maybe. So having said all of this, and there's even more to say, but we won't get into that today, circling back to the anime, I started to notice a trend, because I'm really annoyed about this, because I'm seeing really good storylines, like actually really, really good storylines. But the problem is, in and amongst it, I'm just being distracted by all these scenes of just all the women with all their boobs out in the washroom, but then they're all teenagers. All the girls at school, and then the guy accidentally looking up her skirt, or her skirt accidentally blowing up away, and all this. Oh my gosh. And it's only when I really deeped that these were kids, because like I had to, like, obviously, because I'm not a weirdo, right? Believe it or not in this kind of way. I'm weird, but in the like not this kind of way. So it never really dawned on me, like when you're not in a certain headspace. It's the same way that like when I don't look at human naked bodies, it's not something sexual to me. That's why I think people being so hell-bent on modesty, I feel like that says more about you and your issues, because I don't go and I can look at any human body, and I'm not going to immediately sexualize it. Okay, I'm not going to. It's just somebody naked. That's why I think we make such a big deal about clothing and covering up and covering this. So what if I saw a flipping nipple? So what if I saw somebody's flipping penis, guys? So what? It's a freaking human body. It's just the body. What's wrong with us? What's wrong with us where we're at such a point where just the simple fact of seeing a piece of somebody's flesh, and we're all like, oh my gosh, guys, run for cover! She's naked! You know what I mean? Like you're about to like lose, well, exactly, that's about to say, boobies make you lose control. Boobies make you lose control. Let's get on. Here we go now. I got a cute waist, chubby waist, thick legs in shape. This world is such a joke. Such a joke, you guys, because that's what I'm saying, right? But anyway, so because I'm not in that headspace, things be going over my head a lot. So it's only from going back to back to back, and then like literally getting out of like a week of watching straight anime and feeling violated. Like I felt violated, like I had been watching adult videos. Like that's how I felt, yeah. I felt so mentally violated. And then I realized, oh, first of all, And then amongst all these good storylines, like sometimes I would literally like have to look away because I don't want to see that anyway. First of all, I don't need to see everybody. As much as I don't care to see anybody's bodies, I also don't want to see them. I don't want to really, right? But on the other hand, it's also just like, why is it? And then there's this thing called, oh my gosh, well, there's a term they use in anime. It's, what's it called? It's called, it's a term jiggle mechanics, something like that. Oh my gosh. Because one of the animes that I was going to watch, this, it was called Gamers, and I was thinking, oh, this is going to be sick. I'm going to lock into this. It's going to be about gaming and games and games. First scene in the anime, little girl in the poster, boobs out. First shot, goes into the shop, right? And I'm thinking, not again. Maybe it's not going to be too bad, right? So I'm trying to say to myself, goes into the shop, yeah, and then you got a teenage boy, right? Again, bending down, and he's looking at this video game that he wants to buy. And I'm thinking, okay, this is cool. This other girl walks in, and of course she's cute, right? Whatever. On the front of the game, it's 5 girls that look pretty much exactly like him, and they're all looking naked. And one of the things that the game is promoting is the jiggle mechanics of the video. Yes, the fact that there's going to be bouncing of tits and ass and everything everywhere, right? And I'm thinking, this is crazy. I'll tell you why I'm thinking this is crazy. Because these are school kids, and he's a teenage boy, so fair enough. The point is that it's adults who are making this. It's the adults. There are adults spending hours drawing out these animes, drawing out every curvature, every crevice, shading every area of every teat and every cleave in these animes that I'm watching. That's what they're spending their life doing. They're reviewing it, they're shading it, making sure you can really get a feel for just how round and voluptuous they are. And I'm thinking, you're doing this and you're drawing children. Because why are most of the storylines school kids? That's what I want to know. That's what I want to know. Why are most of the storylines school kids? And then it will be, the whole storyline will be actually interesting because in the show they had like a little gaming club at the school, and they wanted to start trying this, and the other guy preferred this type of game, and it was quite interesting kind of. And then, but then every time they would actually do something meaningful, and this would be like across the board. If they do something meaningful, the guys, what they would want in return, I hope she'll let me look up her skirt because of it. I hope she'll let me touch her boob as a result of it. And once again, okay, if we were talking about things that a teenage boy or girl was saying, I would feel differently. But the fact is, there are adults making this content. Adults making this content. So all of a sudden it made me think, maybe, just maybe, this is how we got ourselves to the point of kind of justifying it, right? Because as long as it's not it's not a real kid, it's just TV. It's just television. That's what we tell ourselves, isn't it? That's why I say the devil loves to come up with phrases like, oh, it's just television. That's just Hollywood. That's just life. And that's just what it is. You know? That's just, why could these same storylines, not have been written with adults? And you know, they could still do all of the bodies that they want to do and whatever. That's absolutely okay. Go ahead. You have free will. Listen, I obviously don't encourage people to work in the sex industry to any extent. But hey, if you want to do that, I also don't judge anybody. As long as you're an adult doing it consensually with consensual adults, that's your choice. You have free will. That's okay. What I'm not going to do and what I'm not okay with is the justification of involving children in this and finding ways to exploit them, because it makes me so uncomfortable. Like, it makes me uncomfortable. There was one anime I was watching it. Oh, I don't want to say what I saw. I don't even want to say what I saw. But it was a bunch of kids again. And I'm just like, and you're animating this? Like, you've got people. This is what I'm saying. It's weird everywhere because it's not just, oh, Epstein here and Diddy there. It's like, oh, all the way over there in Japan. Yeah. What are you people thinking about exactly? So when we get back to this, the lolly community, so here's what they do. They consume this content, so they share and enjoy this content together, this type of content, the cartoon version of children in in sexual things, and their justification is that they're not engaging with it because of it being sexually attracted to minors. They're engaging with it because they think they're cute. And you see, this is another thing I be having a problem with, because I've had that same comment to me. It's always the cute. Oh, look at your little cheeks, and look at your little cheeks, and they want to squeeze these cheeks because they want to be in the other ones. This is what I'm saying. They're trying to be between the others. So the reason that little cutie cute seems to get you feeling a little bit hot and bothered, mate, because that's what I've experienced. And it makes me feel uncomfortable because I'm like, wait. How do we get from cute little squidgety little widgety woo to wanting to destroy me? And this is things I've heard. Oh, if I was to tell you the things I've heard to my face, even, let alone online, unsolicited, to my face, you wouldn't believe it. You wouldn't believe it. So I kind of believe that. Oh, you're so cute. Anyway, so the cute thing, what's that about exactly? What is that about exactly? What do you mean by that? In the words of Drewski. Which again, he's another one who I should talk about on another day. But anyway, so that's how they're justifying it now, basically. That's the long and short of it. As long as they're kids. And I just had to tell you why it made sense to me, because I was thinking, I don't even want to watch anime anymore, by the way. Anyway, because Disney bought it, Disney Plus bought it. I saw Disney Plus in my bank statement. I said, this is not something that can ever happen. The word Disney in my bank statement. For all I know, for the same reasons, guys. They're a place, again, that have their own laws and their own values, and who's their number one person they want to be there? The children. Always the children, right? Always the freaking children. You freaking sick and twisted world. I hate it here. This is a hellscape. But this is what I should expect, because you would think whatever the world is going to be the exact opposite of God. So if God says children are beautiful, precious gifts, and that anybody who hurts a child should be thrown into the sea attached to a millstone, literally should kill themselves, that means that whatever the world thinks of kids is going to be the exact opposite. Just something to use and abuse, to take advantage of, to exploit, to violate because of their ignorance or because they're cute. And so I was here, right, listening to Gideon again, Gideon Premium. Guys, please go to Gideon Premium's channel. Please, for the love of everything. It's ironic how a lot of Christians probably be like, he thought he was Christian for a day, but he wasn't. Meanwhile, you're the Christian sweeping predators under the carpet because it's your favorite pastor and you don't want to give it up, right? Or it's your child and you don't want to ruin, like now, you don't want to ruin the Easter service by like actually addressing the fact that your daughter or your son had been, hurt by somebody in the church at the rehearsals for the Easter service. You don't want to ruin the Easter service. So you're like, baby, you just shut up. Okay, you just shut up. You don't say anything because you're going to ruin the service. You're going to ruin this. I was so happy for you to finally this year get chosen for something of meaning in the Easter service. Finally, you're going to make this family proud. And now you want to come and tell me that the worship leader was fondling you behind. I didn't care. You probably were asking for it. You know what I mean? Been there. And not in that exact scenario, by the way. But you know what I'm saying? But then Gideon's out here going and catching predators. I'm like, he's doing the work of God more than a lot of you Christians are, so-called Christians. Anyways, we already know I don't believe most people call themselves Christians, at least in the West, are actually Christians. I've said that, I've been saying it, and now a lot of the leaders are saying it. Isn't that ironic? Isn't it so funny how all of a sudden everybody wants to start saying everything I was saying all the time? I actually hate it here. God, please, just somebody come and choke me to death. You know what I'm saying? And Anyway, what was it? Sort of a heinous joke I was going to make, but thank God I didn't. Gideon makes a series, like I've said, catching predators, and he finds them because he has a decoy. They don't even have to really try to find these predators who then want to go and meet these kids, and the things that they do are heinous. I've given examples. I'm not going to give any right now. And then he takes all the evidence and goes and gives it to the police. So he's actually he's doing God's work, because he's doing even more than the police is actually doing about any of these things. Yeah. And so on one of these, he gets into a chat with one of the guys of this community. And he was saying, the other guy was like, this is what you don't understand. You're making it weird. People like you are making it weird. People like you are the ones who are the real predators. Because why are you saying that an animated version is the same as the real version? We're not doing anything here. We're not hurting anybody. And it's always this. It's always this. It's always this. And this is what I think people don't realize. Because sometimes people are like, oh, we need to have an age of consent. Oh, we need to protect this. Some people, they just have that in them. That's who they are. We have to deal with them in that manner. That was one of the hardest lessons in life I had to learn in general, not even just about people in this category, but across the board. Some people, they have given themselves into who they are as that. You know, because even what that guy, same guy saying this, he was saying, he's like, I used to feel bad about my feelings. I used to feel bad, but then I found a community. See, this is what we do as a society. All we have to do is agree on something collectively. This is why I believe in having the Bible, okay? Because it's an objective set of boundaries set by a perfect creator. When we the people come together, it's always chaos because as long as there's a group consensus, anything goes. That's why before I was born, back in like the 70s and all this stuff, you know, back in the, you know, when you guys are all doing the psychedelics and you're all doing this and doing that, yeah, having all your good music that you love to talk about, and all your houses cost about £2.50 to buy for a mansion in Beverly Hills. Right? Yeah, a lot of you, it was old people getting married to little girls. You freaking sick. You sick people. A lot of old people get. So a lot of people's grandparents have got a whole damn near 40-year age gap. No wonder she stayed. She ain't known nothing else. She never had a life. She was just a kid, and you warped her entire brain. This is what I'm saying. I wish I was born in the days of lobotomy, because then I could have just like been young. Like if I'd been born then, because now I have too much brain power. This is why I know that this is an injustice. If I had actually just been born in earlier times, I would have either been married off when I was like 14 and young and dumb. And anyways, I was being told at church like, oh, you want to be as a wife and like, keep yourself pure so that one day you can. So then I would have been like, oh my gosh, I got a husband and like I'm a wife now. Like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Like this is gonna be the best thing ever. Like I'm doing exactly what God asked me to do. So of course with that, and then obviously the guy will feed into it, his little sick and twisted self. And then of course I would have no job or nothing. So anyways, it's not like I'm getting out of it anyway. So this is why I'm like, well, so I'm literally trapped. So I'm saying it's kind of sickening when you think about it. It's kind of sickening how you people in this world in the past, especially the Christian folks, have twisted the words of the Lord, by the way. Because it's like, yeah, get them while they're young and then make sure that they have no functional skills so they can't function without you anyways. And you just got a lifelong baby making sex doll chef that you can utilize for whatever you want to use them for. That's why now they fast forwarded to AI, because now we ended up getting lobotomies banned, and we also introduced this thing called age of consent. So now they can no longer just do whatever they want with us, however they want with us, as young as we are. So now they have to find another way. Maybe that's how we got anime in the first place. I don't know. Maybe that's how this Lolita thing even came up, or whatever. And about that, the Lolita Express, I think what people call stuff is a big deal. Am I right? When you see somebody that has a ship, right? Like again, in One Piece, there's always a big meaning behind why people call their ship, their plane, their car, whatever price, especially your car, even whatever. There's some kind of value to behind the name. So do you mean to tell me, for all these years, all these adults were just casually, taking off, plunging into the air in the Lolita Express? And then some of them want to be like, yeah, but just because I went to the island, I didn't see anything. I might have gone to thing this a couple of times. I might have flown on the flight list. He might have taken me from Miami to LA. But like, the thing is, you took off in an airplane. This is the Lolita Express. Guys, you guys don't have a fear of God. That's why no fear of God isn't here in the world for most of you. Do you know how I'm like, God, the way I have to even just, whenever I'm doing a lot of things, I'm like, let me make sure I'm right with the Lord, because the Lord might be like, hey, judgment is here. So you think I'm going to knowingly know what Lolita means, hop on an airplane and think that God doesn't have the power to just shoom that plane into the ocean? Yeah, you people, there's something so godless world. It's a scary place. I'm going to leave it there, guys. I've said enough. I've experienced enough. This is why you know why? This is why I realized I don't want anyone to touch me. Like, stay away from me. Don't come near me, okay? Don't touch me with your disgustingness. I don't want anybody to hug me, not man or woman. Don't look at me. Don't look at me with your lustful eyes. Don't look at me with your enslaved selves, with your deprived. Oh, get away. Look, we all have sexual desires. It's so weird to wake up and realize I'm a hell of vanilla. Oh, I'm just a heterosexual woman who's into men. Men of age. Grown men. And I'm the one who would be ostracized in the modern day society for saying something like that. Can you believe it? Can you believe? But when it comes to we like the kids, we're going to make all these we're going to have these little understandings and excuses, right? God forbid I say, I just like me, just a normal straight heterosexual. Oh, you're a pick-me. Oh, screw you all, man. Screw you all. Screw this world. I hate it here. And here, let's hope and let's pray I will not be here tomorrow, because this place is excruciatingly painful to actually live in. And if I didn't make fun of it as I did, guys, I would sob, and I do sob. I do sob every day, just realizing, oh my gosh, I'm still here. Like, I see the sun rising and I'm like, damn, like, why? And the only reason I don't try to do it myself is because I promised God I wouldn't, and I failed so many promises. So this is one promise I plan to keep. And on that note, if life's a game, it's made to win. God bless you all. God loves you. I love you. And I'll see you in my next one.